Hello Goblins, it's Chris, Eldritch Pipes, reviewing KBV's Zombie English. But before we get there, if you watched Sunday's video, you might remember I said I was casting some copper rods for the first time. Well, copper and black. So I'm going to call it a copper Cumberland, which is a bit of a strange idea, but there we go. Today, they came out of the pressure pot. Let's take a look. Look at those beauties. So now I'm super keen to make a pipe with them. Someone commissioned something with a copper and black stem. Oh, and I'm also doing a new green. It looks pretty vibrant on screen, I admit. It's just called Pure Green. The screen looks like it's slightly oversaturating that colour, but this is going to be replacing emerald green. Emerald green was a kind of a muted green, and I thought it would serve the sort of a more subtle look. But the fact is, it just hasn't proved that popular, so I'm phasing out emerald green, more or less. And it'll be pure green and moss green. That's what I'm going to do. One more bit. That's just some tape, that's not part of the pipe. A Slender Man with blue Cumberland on the way. So there you go. Now, Zombie English. It's interesting that it's called, I would have maybe called it Zombie Blend. Something less defining than English, because I would say again, this is kind of a genre-defying profile. It is a mix of stowed Virginias, Cyprian Latakia, Syrian Latakia, and Candela cigar leaf. That is the sort of the pale green leaf. And there's enough of it in there that you can sort of see it quite clearly. Let's give it a sniff. In the bag, here's a real challenge to unpick. It is fruity, as in like a burnt blackberry. Smoking it into the bag. Sweet, tangy, smoky. It kind of almost smells like a bag of Haribo. That kind of, it's mellow, but it's fruity with a little tang. It does, it smells like and if maybe you threw in a few licorice all sorts in there as well. Because it is earthy. Not like super earthy, it is not a ponderous blend. The stowed Virginias are sweet, noticeably sweet, fruity. The latakias, they're sat right in the middle, so they're not dominating. I would say it is Virginia forward, but because it's a stoved Virginia forwardness, it's not what you're expecting. Excuse me. It's almost like there's some Perique in it, but not quite. So maybe really aged Perique, and just a sprinkle of it. So that the whole profile doesn't really come across as an English. Not with my senses anyway. I always expect an English to hit me with the latakia first and sort of to never let me forget it. The latakia just keeps sort of weaving in the middle, in and around this fruity sweetness, this kind of black currant. Yeah. It's kind of blackcurrant. I want to say tang, but it's more subtle than that. So tang is a bit misleading here. What could you call it? I think fruitiness will just have to do. There's this kind of also, as you sort of come down the bowl, there's this kind of like, what I can only describe as natural tobacco flavour. It's leafy. The candela, there's not lots of it. But you do catch these moments of kind of like added strength, kind of a darker, woodier elements. And it definitely sort of like, it has this kind of like play of strength. So mostly it's a real laid back, really quite soft. That's why the word tang doesn't really work, but I was going for something that sort of was getting you there. Fruitiness having to do. And then every now and then you get like a puff of added strength. But it doesn't come across as I don't detect like a cigar note. Nothing like that. It's just an added warmth. And maybe it adds to the sort of the volume of smoke, because it's kind of, it really smokes happily away. I would definitely describe it as a relaxing, slightly playful blend. So maybe the best way to describe it would be English with a sense of humour. Maybe. Really nice. The fact that it's only available at one time in the year, I believe around Halloween. So actually, you might wonder why I've done this review before it's available. It's kind of just to give you a chance to decide if it's something you think you might like. And if you do, I've given you a couple of weeks advance notice to keep your eyes out for it. Because when it's up, you know the story. It'll be gone before it's even up for sale. There you are. Right, that's it for my review. I think the next one will almost certainly be a Dear Eldritch. I've got a couple of really interesting questions to reply to, so I'm looking forward to that. If you have any more, email me at the usual place. I'll put the email address in the description, but it is devilsreef@gmail.com with the subject line Dear Eldritch. Until then, take it easy, your loyal pipe maker.